So, speaking of red pill, blue pill, do you think that you would take the red pill or the blue pill?
Okay, well, here's the thing. You kind of pointed this out earlier that everyone thinks that they would be the one to take the red pill. For
It's the
context, the red one.
smarter answer.
Well, it depends on what you mean by smart. Like, in a sense, ignorance is bliss, right? So, like, if you want to stay in the dark, not have to worry too much, not be stressed about, like, what's actually going on out there, then it's a smarter to take the blue pill. Um, the red one is the one where you, like, see the world we're actually living in. The blue is where you forget everything. So, like, now I'm saying I think that I would take the red pill, but at the same time, I think most people would say that they would take the red pill. If it actually came down to it, I don't know if that's the action that we would actually take, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, also because the reason why I say it's the smarter answer is because you don't want to be ignorant. I think
Yeah.
there's this idea of like being ignorant is bad. And so in a very public space or a public forum, most people in front of a lot of different people will say that they'll take the red pill because they will seem more intelligent, perhaps more knowledgeable and aware. But I think it's hard to answer that because even posing the question of would you take the red pill or the blue pill is framing it in a way that scientifically you wouldn't actually be able to tell whether people would take the red pill or the blue pill because you're answering a framed question. So instead, actually, perhaps we have to identify behaviors that are red pill esque and blue pill esque. Like some things, I think you are going to take that red pill and like almost like be more aware of something, whereas some other things like blue pill, like you're just it's just going to be ignorance is bliss because you don't want to try and understand that aspect of this world.
Yeah, for sure. I think, like, realistically, like, we do have to protect ourselves in some way, and there's lots of great things about the world, but there's also, like, so much misery, so many systemic problems out there. We can't constantly be juggling and thinking about all of them simultaneously, because that would just be miserable. So I can understand how in some ways we might choose ignorance just for, like, keeping our own mental health safe. But in other ways, we feel like it is our obligation to know, or it makes sense to know in order to help other people. And also, I think you pointed this out, but like we think of ourselves as the protagonist or the main character. We all, in one way or another, like relate to the main character in the Matrix, and of course he takes the red pill, so we're like, well, of course I would do that as well.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess this, like, the Matrix is about a bigger, like, meaning of life type of question. But if we put the red pill versus blue pill into smaller issues that we encounter, like climate change or social media usage slash privacy, those things, like, I think we can break down into smaller chunks that we can decide whether we want to take the red pill or the blue pill for. Like, that's why documentaries exist. Like, if I want to learn about drug usage in sports, I will choose the red pill and watch a sports documentary about doping. Like, I think that's like a real life example of taking the red pill through behavior, through analyzing my own behavior. Similarly, like, I eat a vegetarian diet, and that's like, if I were like fully red pill, I would probably be vegan. But that's at least like one step closer to taking the red pill against kind of like supply chain slash more sustainable ways of eating and our food system. So there are like those things which our actions are speaking louder than like whatever choice we are saying out loud. Saying that we're taking a red pill or a blue pill to someone else, I think sometimes it's just hard to say that. It's actually more about looking at what we're actually doing to solve that issue that we're being presented with.
Yeah, I love how you related that back to media as well by being like, oh, I would watch another movie to learn about this because it's just kind of meta. But yeah, I totally agree. I feel like we all make choices every day about what we want to know and what we don't want to know. Like when you even think about on social media, people are sharing stuff all the time, right? A lot of the time they're sharing good news, but a lot of the time they're sharing not great things that are happening, particularly in COVID. And if someone shares a story that like links to another account with information, you can decide to click on it and learn about that topic or that issue. Or you can be like, I'm not ready for that right now, or I don't want to, I'm not in the right frame of mind. Like we are constantly making choices about what kind of information we want to absorb, I think.
Yeah, and when you're not ready, perhaps you're actually taking like a purple pill, let's say, like a red mixed with blue, where you're aware of something. Like I'm aware of privacy issues and data issues in social media, but I still use Instagram. Like,
yeah,
I'm trying to limit my usage and try to be more aware of what I'm doing on there, but still at the same time, I'm not completely anti social media. Like I'm not off Instagram. I'm not off whatever. I'm still using it. So I guess I'm not taking enough of a stance, but then I'm just in the middle. Purple pill. Because life is about like spectrums. Like you can't just be completely red and blue. Like you have, like there are so many moments where there are gray areas, or in this case purple areas, like a more reddish tone purple versus blue.
Or what about the like, how about I take the red pill like a year from now? Like I'm not ready at the moment, but maybe next year I will be. Yeah. I don't think there's enough options. You're right. There should be like a purple pill, and there should also be a next year pill.
What, the next year pill would be like a green pill or a yellow one? The fact that they even colored the pills is like a little bit weird, because all pills that you take are like white, right?
True. Well, I mean, it's just a metaphor, right? And I do think that it's kind of becoming, it's become a thing. I think a lot of people use the term like to be red pilled, or to be blue pilled. Like it's become, I think, partially co-opted by the far right, but like it is common terminology to be like red pilled. I think people say that.
Well, not in my circles, but okay.
It's probably just an internet thing. I don't think people say it in real life.